And we're rolling. Hey, welcome to my podcast, Postradamus 2026, where you can make some money today. I'm going to help you make some money. I'm going to make predictions for tonight's hockey games, and we're going to look at some NBA scores as well. Last night's ticket from March 26. I went 4 for 5 on this ticket. Okay, first game I picked, I had the New York Islanders to beat Dallas Stars last night. If you watch my video from yesterday, you will understand that I predicted Sorokin to have a massive game, and he backstopped the Islanders to a 2-1 victory. That paid out 2.4 to 1. I had a tie, right here, tie. Pittsburgh and Ottawa, they went to overtime. It's deemed in the Pro Line Sports Select world as a tie. It goes to overtime, okay? It doesn't matter if it goes to overtime or if it goes to a shootout, it's still considered a tie in the world of Pro Line. I picked that one correctly. Last night, I had the Seattle Kraken to beat Tampa Bay, huge upset. And that was, again, a tie. That's the game that I went awry. It went down, my ticket. I lost. I predicted the Kraken to win. Man, they won in overtime, so the ticket doesn't count. So my $640, even though my other predictions of the Oilers to beat Vegas, that was a tie. So I had all my picks right, except I didn't have the foresight to predict a tie between the Seattle Kraken and the Tampa Bay Lightning, which was a heck of a game. So all I'm trying to say is that I know what I'm talking about. Hey, man, I got a good jersey. What's up to Mr. Tracy McGrady? Tonight's games, man. Here we go. On the docket, I got 2 games. Count it. There's 2 games on the NHL docket tonight. So the first game is going to be the Hawks at the Rangers. Hawks are coming into the past 10 games. 4 wins, 3 losses, 3 ties. You're seeing from the Rangers, they're on the decline. They're going for Gavin McKenna. They're basically tanking the season. You know, this is going to be at home. They're playing for a little bit of pride. They got some call-ups from the college leagues. They're at 4-5-1 the past 10. Chicago Blackhawks take the Hawks to win in Madison Square Garden tonight. They're going to win by 2 goals. The other game is going to be Red Wings at Buffalo. Buffalo's on a tear. They're 7-1-2 in the last 10. Mr. Gibson's going to get the start for the Detroit Red Wings, who are walking in 3-5-2 the past 10, and they're also 3 points out of that last wild card spot that the New York Islanders are currently occupying. So where do we go from here? What's going to be my prediction, you might ask? Red Wings all the way. Red Wings are going to beat up on Buffalo. They're going to, get within 1 point of the wild card. I don't foresee the Red Wings making the playoffs, but they're going to beat the Buffalo Sabres tonight in regulation. So there we go. Basically, we got both road teams winning in the NHL tonight. Now, man, I'm hearing all this shit from Max Kellerman. You know, he was on YouTube today. If you know about Max Kellerman, he used to be on First Take with Mr. Stephen A. Smith, and he got basically kicked off that whole podcast, and he was saying that he would have hot takes, and then he would be the guy that appears to be fucking stupid or whatever you want to call it, so that Stephen A. has kind of a fall guy. That's why Max Kellerman went on his way. Now, Kellerman's words of wisdom that I extracted from his today, his speech, I guess, it was just on YouTube there. He was just talking about, if you are on your own making some kind of fucking weirdo podcast, you better have a niche. You better have something that you're really good at where you're batting 80% making your predictions. And you know what? The past 3 predictions that I've had on my podcast, and I like to keep it at about 5 minutes, man. You know what? We're not all interesting characters where we always have, the backup. Okay, I got 2 guys on my podcast, and therefore when the doldrums come, I can jump in here and make you look good with a couple of questions. Well, I don't have that on my podcast. I'm doing this fucking pro bono, uno number 1, singular, me. And you know what? We're going to bust into my sponsor. I'm actually sponsored by Alcoholics Anonymous. If you got a problem, you're at the right place. Let's just develop a little bit of a inclusion of some good information that might help your day. And this goes back to page 86 of the big book, where Dr. fucking Bob is talking about drifting into anxious thoughts and worry. He says, one must be careful not to drift into worry, remorse, or morbid reflection. What do you think about morbid reflection? Well, that's stinking thinking. That goes right into that. Shoulda, woulda, coulda last year. Oh, shouldn't have spent $1,000 at the casino table when I had nothing else left to my name after that. You know, that morbid reflection is a shoulda, woulda, coulda. So you want to stay clear of those negative inside, what do you call them? Impulses, right? What's it going to make you do? It's going to trigger you to maybe go back to that table and say, hey, I got another $500. I'm going to go all in on red, whatever you want to call it. So that would diminish your usefulness. If you're constantly focused and harboring in this negative emotion about resentments, about, oh man, fucking did it again. Okay, well, let's not do it again, but let's not sit in a puddle of resentments, in a puddle of how selfish we are, how dishonest, how afraid. Do I owe someone an apology? Oh man, I can't believe what I did. I can't remember. You know, these are the shoulda, woulda, couldas that we're thinking about the past. The past only deserves but a glance. So without sounding too preachy, I've managed to go from no longer gambling at the casino whatsoever to only playing approximately $3 to $5 on Proline and Sports Select a day. Hey, that's not bad, man. And it also keeps me in the game. It keeps me motivated. I want to get out there and just help people out, make some money. So tonight's games, those two games that pay out on a $5 wager, along with one NBA game I've yet to actually look at right now, those three games will parlay you on a $5 wager times 16, 32, $48. So you can go win $48 today with my picks. Chicago Blackhawks to win against the Rangers and the Detroit Red Wings to upset the mighty Buffalo Sabres, who are holding first spot in the Eastern Conference. Now from here, we're also just going to say one more thing, a little shout out to Dr. Bob from Alcoholics Anonymous. This not only helps alcoholics, but it helps degenerate gamblers get past that degeneration and kind of find an even keel where we can actually get through today. Just for today, I'm only going to gamble $3. Just for today, I'm only going to gamble $5. You know, you see where I'm getting with this? If you can minimize your losses and maximize your intellect, you might win some money. And you know what? If you don't, hey, fuck, it's $5. So you're not going back to the well after that. You spent your $5. You're either going to make 48, or if you want to take on 6 games, you see what I'm saying? That's how we justify beating a demon. Okay? You're no longer at the gambling tables in the casino spending $1,000. You're at home. You're going to do positive things, like read a book, like go for a walk, like have a workout, do some squats, and stay away from being a $1,000 millionaire, as they say. So other than that, if circumstances warrant, we'll always ask, hey, why me, God? Why me? Why did this happen to me once again? Turn that why me, the victim mentality, into, okay, I fucked up. Okay, I'm going to own this. I'm going to ask God, what can I learn from this fuck up, oh Lord? Please tell me. Let me be a student of the situation versus a victim mentality. So, you know what, man? I think that's enough preaching for today. And hey, we all got a battle that's going on inside. It's like the wolves, right? You know, the angry black wolf and the legendary white wolf. Which wolf are we going to feed today, you know? Envy, greed, malicious? Or are we going to feed some peace? Or are we going to feed some, upright, positive? Are we going to keep it positive no matter what? That's what it comes down to, man. And that's a choice we got to make every day. Which wolf are we going to feed? Today, I'm feeding the YouTube wolf. I don't even care if I monetize this and make $10, because you know what? I've never made $10 on YouTube. But what I do get out of this is that I can help people with my predictions, help you, help me, make some money. Everything else in between. So you heard it first. Chicago Blackhawks going to win, and the Detroit Red Wings are going to win. No, neither game's going into overtime tonight on the NHL March 27th, 2026 docket. So peace be with you, my friend. And you know what, man? Have a good day.